Community Viewpoint.
And welcome once again to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host for this segment. And this segment, this is October, and we're going to be looking at something special for me because I'm from Chicago. This is National Fire Prevention Month, and we had Fire Prevention Week, I believe it was the 15th to the 9th to the 15th of this month. To talk about a little bit about this, we have from the our own fire department here in town, Lieutenant Clickner and firefighter Hernandez alongside of me to give us a little of their insight on what they do for us in this town and also what they're doing for National Fire Prevention Month and Week. So a little bit about what you do, Lieutenant. What's your job with the our fire department?
My job is lieutenant, also firefighter and paramedic.
And all those things?
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, you make a lot of runs into Vegas?
I don't make as many no more since the lieutenant stays in Vegas, but the firefighters make quite a few runs to Vegas these days.
Because we have a lot of traffic going back and forth, unfortunately, because coming back,
sure.
Yeah, we see the fire ambulances going back and forth. Oh, that's ours. That's ours again. And then what is your job as a firefighter?
Firefighter, we're firefighter and advanced EMT. So we are in charge of responding to fire and EMS calls around the valley.
So one shot does it all. So when you come over there, if it's fire or if my life is in danger because I'm having a heart attack, you're the person who look after me.
Yeah, we're trained for
the whole department is like that, right?
The whole department's cross-trained, of course.
Very good. I appreciate that. I appreciate that from our fire chief, and you've been like that for many years?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So how many folks do we have on the fire department?
We have a total of 27, and leaves us nine personnel per day, per shift.
And you're all out of the main station?
We run 3 stations. 2 outlying stations are manned with 2 people.
One on Hickok?
There's Kellogg and Harris
Kellogg.
Farm. And then we have a 5-person station here, Station 1.
Right. And that's where the majority of our equipment is there also, right? So let's talk a little bit about why we're here. Why we're here to begin with was the Great Chicago Fire. That's where I'm from, 1871. Mrs. O'Leary's cow knocked over that lantern, supposedly, and I believe it was 250 people lost their lives. There were 100,000 people became homeless, and fire destroyed more than 17,400 structures. So to keep that from happening, we came up, not we, but the fire marshals, the government came up with the Fire Prevention Week and Month. And part of that is education, and that you guys go, and ladies, go to the outlying or the inlying schools, and you teach the kids about the fire prevention, how to get out of the house if there is a fire. So what all do you do? Do you go out there with the kids?
As a department, we pretty much all share the duties of going out to the schools every year, teach them about the safeties of not playing with matches, lighters, tell an adult if they find them or see anybody playing with them, of course, because it's caused fires quite a few times. Also teach them if they do become trapped in a fire, stay low, find the nearest exit, have a safe place set up with their family that they all meet at in the case of a house fire. Also teach them if they do catch on fire, their clothing or anything, if they were around a campfire or any kind of fire in their house, even candles or anything, that stop, drop, and roll. That's always been a common saying. We also teach them about the smoke detectors, how to change the batteries twice a year. Also go home and with the adult supervision, test the smoke detectors and maybe practice a fire escape plan for their house, kind of a fire drill.
Right. And it's not testing the fire smoke detector with supper.
No.
Yeah, sorry, that's my favorite joke. supper is done, the alarm went off. And then also the defensible area around your house too. You teach
Of
about
course,
keeping
keep the area clean around their house of any weeds or rubbish.
Yes. And then also, let's look at, I went to, well, I always go to Home Depot, but the other day they had a display over there. I'm sure the Karen has a display at Do It Right Hardware. We have 2 hardware stores in town. So this was there the other day. So you were talking about the smoke alarms, and this year, what was it? We have the Don't Wait, Check the Date is the campaign. Every 10 years, you're supposed to change the smoke alarm, I believe. Mm-hmm. And also, they're selling a whole bunch of different types of fire extinguishers. They're supposed to be around your home. Each bedroom, centralized area.
For an extinguisher, I recommend probably 1 per floor. Keep it accessible to where everyone knows where it's at. Read on how to use it so that you're not trying to figure it out or take it out of the box when you need it.
Yes.
Make sure you've prepped this.
Yes. So I have one. Well, I have a 2-story. So we have one in the kitchen right above the stove, and then
Might be the best place for it.
upstairs right in the central hallway. Mm-hmm. So it's accessible from each bedroom. But every bedroom should have a smoke alarm. The centralized area up there, and then in the kitchen away from your stove or your microwave, so it doesn't go off when supper is done. But we saw that we have the display over at the Home Depot, and then I'm sure Karen has that also. So there's all different types of fire extinguishers. What should we have for the house? Oh, the car. We should have one in the car?
I would recommend it.
Yeah, because when I worked for the contractor for the government, we always had to have a fire extinguisher. I work for a nonprofit. We have to have a fire extinguisher there. Mm-hmm. We have a trailer. We have a fire extinguisher in there also, so that's very important.
You never know where you'll be when you need one. So
yes.
if
Or
you're in your
someone
car,
else.
you can at least have one. You have an engine fire or any kind of compartment fire in your car, or if you're passing by and can lend a hand.
At what point of the house fire with you in a hose should you call the fire department? Or should you try to fight it with a hose?
That should be your first call.
That should
The
be
first
your
thing you
first
do is
thing
call
you do.
911.
Yeah.
That way, if the fire grows too rapidly, even by the time you get your fire extinguisher, you've already made the phone call.
Right. On your way, I'll have the hose here. So, but make sure you're coming.
Yeah, make sure we're called immediately, because too many times the fire grows beyond anything they can do, and they still haven't made the phone call.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some of the stupid things that we do that you see that cause fire? I know one thing is in a dry weather, parking on the side of the road with your hot vehicle, we could start fires that way, or people flicking their own cigarettes.
The cigarettes out the window could be a tough one. Windy days, having controlled burns.
Oh, by the way, controlled burn, it's not the season for it yet.
Yeah, we're still not into the season yet. We're looking at sometime early next month, following the guidelines of BLM or Forest Service.
And that's after 5 miles an hour, I think you're supposed to stop.
Yeah, shut it down after 5 miles an hour. And then the burn permit that's issued from Station 1 here across from Home Depot gives you all the guidelines, the size of the fire, how much water you need, what you can and can't burn, and any other guidelines therein. And that you have to call in every morning before you burn.
Well, if you have to ask questions, that means you haven't read your document that tells you about your burn, because it explains what you need to do or what you shouldn't do. So you should know before you start your burn.
And we find people that their burn permit, they've had it so long they don't have those guidelines anymore. They can feel free to stop by Station 1 and pick up a new set.
Because mine is about 6-7 years old. It should still be good.
The burn permits are still good. It's just if you've lost the guidelines or in question of what you can and can't do, the phone number that you call for the burn line should tell you any answers. Plus, if you need the paperwork again, you can stop by and grab it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've had mine about 5 or 6 years. I think I know where it is. Oh, but I don't burn.
There you go.
When Scott's over here, he kind of shies away from burning anyway, because we have a landfill too. If we have the ability to use the landfill that we pay for anyway in our taxes, we can go there on weekends, and hopefully we don't trash the road on the way there, and dump the stuff over there. So
Well, you shouldn't be burning your trash anyway, so
no,
you should be
because
taking that to the dump if you don't have the trash service.
yeah, because it's Scott told me last year, year before, it was just woody products, your leaves, branches.
Basically natural vegetation off your property. Grass, leaves, weeds, branches, in a small manageable pile, and keep it limited. You know, you don't burn it all at one time. You can feed the fire as you go.
Yeah, because I see weird-looking smoke, and then it smells weird, so you know there's other things that
There's
go in
other
there
things
also.
in it.
So try not to do that, and well, just don't do that. So anything to look forward to for the winter months that you can see that from the fire department aspect? What do we look for in the winter months? What do you see? Well, we don't have ice and snow on the roads.
We don't
here.
so much see the ice and snow unless you're going over the mountain.
Right.
And during the winter storms, you might catch the snow. There might be road closures up there. Here in town, just normal weather and conditions. Be safe when you're driving, of course. Cold temperatures. Make sure your heater works.
Oh, there's a few days in the wintertime too where I remember I was in the Midwest when you're driving the car and it's completely frosted over, and you're trying to drive with the little hole that keeps getting bigger and bigger as
Definitely, if you have frost on your windshield, make sure it's cleared off before you drive. You don't see it too often out here, but I have seen accidents where the windshield's frosted over. So.
Whoops. I've kept my ice scraper from the Midwest, so it's come in handy. And try not to use your credit card either. There's other uses for that.
There's other things that work better.
Yes. So we're going to be coming into the winter months. Fires in the wintertime. I got to make sure that people change their filters and things like that.
Limit the use of space heaters and extension cords for them.
Extension cords, yes. Hopefully I'll get you guys on before Christmas for the Christmas lights. Oh God.
Yeah,
so
there's
we'll
a
do
whole
that.
new story
Yeah,
there.
so hopefully we'll get you here in time for that. But I want to appreciate you taking time out, Lieutenant and firefighter, to come with us to talk about Fire Prevention Month. So please check your batteries, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Community Viewpoint.